everyone. This is Sarah, Head of Marketing at MakaChain. Welcome. Well, today is another exclusive roundtable. I guess you could call this take 3, maybe. So if you're joining us, welcome. And as always, we love to hear from the community throughout today's discussion. So please feel free to drop your questions or any comments as we go. Today's conversation, again, like yesterday, if you joined us, unfortunately had some oopses, but today's conversation is one that impacts every project, every business, and every user in blockchain security. But we're going to approach it definitely from a different angle. We're going to look not just at the code and vulnerabilities, but rather at trust, risk, and reputation. Joining us today is Bryn Bennett, Head of Business Strategy at Hacken. Hacken has become one of the most respected names in blockchain security, helping projects identify risks, strengthen infrastructure, and build confidence with their communities. Bryn brings a unique perspective because he sits at this intersection of business, security, and strategy. Bryn, welcome. We're excited to have you here.
Thank you so much. It's good to be back. Yeah.
Yes.
Hopefully the gods of Twitter Spaces are going to allow us to speak properly today. Yeah.
I agree.
Also, before we get stuck in, it's Bryn, by the way.
Bryn. Oh, well,
Yeah,
thank you so much. Bryn.
Yeah,
I love that.
It's a Welsh name. They're a little bit strange.
No, so. Listen, that's totally fine. Thank you so much for telling me.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, I know yesterday there were a lot of technical issues, so maybe we could repeat some of those beginning things about you, right? So before we get into audits and security, just again, if you could share your story with us, how did you find your way into blockchain security?
Yeah, absolutely. So I cut my teeth in the blockchain industry working in a privacy protocol called Secret Network. That was one of the first chain actually with privacy preserving smart contracts. I really used to think that privacy was the biggest barrier to adoption of blockchain technology. So yeah, hence why I campaigned and worked in that sector for many years. But I would say nowadays there's a lot of privacy solutions out there, whether you're using ZKs or fully homomorphic encryption or trusted execution environments. There's lots of ways of encrypting data on chain. So but I genuinely feel like security is the biggest blocker to mass adoption of this technology now, whether it's from enterprises or institutions, or just the next 1 billion users, as we say. So yeah, hence I feel very strongly about this problem, as do many of my colleagues as well. So yeah, it brings me great pleasure and joy to work in this particular field.
Excellent. So then, was there a specific moment maybe then when you realized that security wasn't just a technical issue, but more of a business issue?
Yeah, I mean, I was in a couple of projects that got hacked. I was in Luna UST when that went under, so from being a victim myself, and actually a lot of people in the security space will say the same thing, like they have been victims in the past of fraud or scams or hacks and this kind of stuff. So they kind of come in here for revenge, I guess, in a way, to scratch that kind of itch. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, again, I guess, is that part of what keeps you excited then about this industry even today?
Yeah, absolutely. It really is exciting work. It's spicy. It's, there's salacious stuff happening all the time in the blockchain security space. And again, it brings me a lot of fulfillment to be able to help to keep these awesome products secure, like MakaChain that we recently worked with.
Excellent. Yes. And so I guess, I mean, security obviously is a huge issue. And I mean, I know I think when I hear security, I just think hackers, right? From your perspective, is security today more about technology or more about trust?
I would say that Web3, blockchain, whatever you want to call it, it all begins with trust. We are putting the trust in the protocols that we operate with. We're putting the trust in the people behind them, the founders and the team behind them. So yeah, I would say everything begins with trust. And a big part of our work at Hacken is to build trust in this technology as a whole and try to get it adopted by the big, banks and institutions and governments and regulators. So it's easier for us all to build fantastic businesses with it. Yeah, but definitely trust is where it begins. And then obviously the technology side, we're always pushing the frontier there as well with with post quantum and now AI agents coming on chain as well. So yeah, definitely
Yeah.
one of the more interesting sectors to work in.
Yeah, absolutely. Building on this trust concept, do you think a project can recover from a loss of trust after a security incident?
It's challenging. Don't get me wrong; it's very challenging. But I've seen some good examples of where for example, I'll take Bybit as an example. The biggest theft of crypto last year, $1.5 billion on. For me, it was 5:10 on a Friday afternoon. I remember
Mm,
it forever. Their CEO came on X on a video space immediately, live to help to reassure the customers. We did a emergency proof of reserves audit for them. They went through a super thorough pen testing sprint. This is all public. We
mhm,
we built a case study around this afterwards, and I hope they got the trust back after that huge incident from just being honest and open and transparent about the whole process, and really really changing their security approach in the months that followed.
Right, excellent. And I think that's fantastic that you were able then to do a study from it as well and share that knowledge with everybody, especially moving forward, right? So people could be aware, but also what else to look for and steps to take. So then, do you think
Yeah,
that? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to add. I mean, they were going for their Mika license at the same time, so they got hacked about this time that they applied for the Mika license, which is an incredibly tough license to
Hmm.
get. So yeah, it was a very challenging time for them, but they took the right approach. They ended up completing all of the pen tests. They got their Mika license in, I think it was in July or August last year. So it took them a few months to get everything, recovered.
Hmm.
But yeah, they did a fantastic job. I would use them as an example of a
Excellent.
recovery to go.
Excellent. So then, do you think communities are becoming more security conscious then than a few years ago, even?
Yeah, I mean, it depends which communities. If it's like a meme coins community, they're not so concerned. If it's like more serious investors that are looking for quality products, definitely they're not going to take a project seriously that hasn't been audited. Invest
Hmm.
professional investors, no way. Like no way they're going to take a project seriously unless they've got regulated or thoroughly audited, and they're on top of this cybersecurity stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and you did mention about technology and AI, and I know there's been a lot of recent discussions around Anthropic's the Mythos AI model, which definitely has raised some concerns about AI, right? About the vulnerability and discoverability and so forth.
Yeah.
And then reducing or shrinking the defender's response of window time, right? So just wondering though, for those who may not be familiar, why has this become such a significant topic across the security industry? And I guess what makes the discussion different from previous technology shifts that we've seen?
Why it's such an engaging topic to the security industry is because allegedly, I mean, most of us don't know unless you're working for Microsoft security team or equivalent. Allegedly, this new model is capable of attacking kernel level software, so operating systems. It's capable of chaining together exploits and finding new vulnerability paths and finding bugs that simply weren't able to be found before, even
Hmm.
in battle tested systems. This is the story. We had an interesting release of that, like a sort of guardrailed version of that model last week, Fable 5, and that was quickly unreleased after a couple of days. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I really, really hope that this doesn't get out into the wrong hands. I'll just say that because I can't say much more.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, I guess it creates then an opportunity, incredible opportunity for defenders, right? So trying to, if it finds these loopholes or these instances, but I guess it also raises then an important question. Just because we can do something about it, do you think that that means that we should, or I guess where do you think the industry should draw these boundaries around the AI and security?
Mm, I'm hoping that we get the latest and best tooling before the Black Hats. The reality
Mhm.
seems to be in AI that the open source models catch up within about 6 months to the latest closed source models. So yeah, I would, but I mean, you get always going to find more white hats than black hats. If you go to
Hmm.
our bug bounty community, Hacken Proof, there's over 70,000 of them in there. I think for any project that's building in the blockchain space, they should seriously consider having not just an audit before they go to mainnet with a new feature, but having an ongoing bug bounty program, because incentivizing those white hats to protect your protocol is going to mean that the stuff that they are finding and reporting to you is not going to get found by black hats. So yeah, super important to have an ongoing bug bounty program, and it's a lot of fun as well.
I'm glad you
We've,
find that fun.
I mean, we found projects higher from the bug reporters. So like they'll have like one white hat or a few white hats that are constantly finding issues with their code base, and when they do the next hiring run, they'll pick from that pool because these guys understand the architecture, they understand the protocol very well at that point.
Excellent. Well, do you think maybe then we might eventually see some of the maybe the know your operator or know your organization similar to the KYC in financial systems? Do you think that might be used?
KYC is used extensively in crypto now. I would say there's not many places where you can trade crypto without KYC. Um, Whether that's going to be true for agents, for example,
Hmm.
this is a kind of frontier field. I think there's quite a few interesting projects building in that space. I would say um, the guys from Creds, they're building quite an interesting AI agentic identity solution. But yeah, this is honestly this is frontier stuff. I don't think Know Your Agent is properly implemented yet. I mean, most of the payment protocols for agents, like X402, for example, it's just okay, X402 payment required. The agent
Hmm.
pays. There's not really any firewalling there yet, I would say.
So then, what are your thoughts upon how maybe we could strike that balance between innovation, security, and accountability?
Yeah, I mean, I've always considered it not a trilemma, like a quadrilemma, if we will, with privacy added there as well. Like,
Hmm.
I honestly think that we miss privacy when we have these kind of trilemma things, personally. But yeah, I guess it comes with, I'm going to say battle testing.
Okay.
Any kind of good solution comes with a decent amount of battle testing, whether that's with bug bounty program or on the market with some discoveries over years of being on chain. I think this needs time to be
Sure.
good tech. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then I guess looking ahead, what conversations do you think project founders or communities, security teams, what do you think that they're having right now that maybe they aren't having enough of? What are some things that we should be thinking ahead, I guess?
Budgeting is always a conversation that I recommend teams to have early. So
Hmm.
there was a bit combined from our research and also some research from Reuters. Um, we estimated that like blockchain teams spend about 3 to 5% of their tech budget on cybersecurity currently. Well, last year anyway. This is when the research was done.
Hmm.
Whereas if you look at like Web two, what we will call Web two, um, then banking and financial businesses spend about 25% of their technology spend on cybersecurity, whereas
Hmm.
your e-commerce, social media, that those kind of products, they spend about 10 to 15% of their budget, their tech budget, on cybersecurity. So that was quite eye-opening for me. It's always tough to have the budget conversation with teams, but really there are options out there for crowdsourced auditing, for AI auditing now. Like the solutions are there for any budget. It just needs the conversation just needs to be had and needs to be planned properly.
Sure. Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
And speaking of audits, then, like you just mentioned, just I guess could you explain it in an easy way? I guess if you could explain maybe Web3 audits to, let's say, a 5-year old, right? Like just a simple way to explain and understand an audit.
Instead of a 5-year-old, I'm going to say how we would explain it to someone that's coming in from TradFi,
Okay.
because for them, audits are financial audits. So like when we started, doing our events in New York and things like that at the Nasdaq, one of the challenges that we faced is that that when they hear audit, they're like, "Oh, financial audit. Oh, okay, that's you guys don't look like financial auditors." Actually, the concept of a cybersecurity audit in Web3 probably should be called a security assessment. So
Mhm.
a code review or security assessment on the underlying code base, the underlying technology that backs up all these cool products.
No, I like that because again, audit sometimes maybe has a negative tone to it, but in what you're, for you, it's more of a preventative thing. It's a positive. So, do you think you can an audit guarantee maybe a project is secure then, or how many audits would you maybe recommend for a blockchain project typically?
Um, yeah, so an audit is a point in time attestation that what the code base that's been provided to us has been checked, in our case, by two professional, extremely talented auditors. It's a point in time exercise. So once the audit's complete and published, if that code base changes, if an upgrade happens, then if it's a major upgrade, of course, a new audit should be done.
Hmm.
If if like let's take a NFT marketplace, for example, if the NFT marketplace suddenly launches a staking contract and they don't have the staking contract audited, um, then that could be very vulnerable. And this happens all the time where projects point to audits that they've had in the past on completely different products, and they haven't had the latest stuff that they're marketing audited, whereas you guys have. So good job, MakaChain.
Yeah, well, well, thank you. Actually, that's what I was gonna just pivot. And so you recently, Hacken, successfully audited MakaChain. And I guess without getting overly technical, why do you think these systems are so important to evaluate carefully?
Yeah, at the top level because they're pay it's financial systems. At the end of the
Hmm.
day, we send and receive and play around with financial products here on blockchain. So every single one that we launch should be properly uh, audited or security assessmented, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just in general a good approach to have to having this stuff have a second and third pair of eyes before it goes to market, and then have many pairs of eyes via a bug bounty program after launch as well.
Absolutely. So then, in your opinion, what does it say about a project when it proactively seeks audits before major functionality, right? As if before it's fully rolled out?
It says to me that it's a project that, like, as an investor, I would consider investing in. As a user, I would consider using. As a passionate, person interested in this technology, I would take seriously.
Excellent. And then, so for 5 years now, what do you think will separate trusted projects from forgotten projects, considering that AI is increasingly becoming a part of the development phase in projects?
Oh, we can get spicy here. Yeah, so I have seen projects where they've over relied on AI tools for the coding, and when they come to us, we can clearly tell that it's been vibe coded. I don't think AI is capable yet of building blockchain products
Hmm.
to the spec that is required by the market and to I mean, the Black Hats, the Lazarus groups, these kind of groups, very, very skilled, very, very skilled. We're still at a point where we need talented humans to build good blockchain products.
Hmm.
I know your team is fantastic. Um, I think that I don't want to say pump and dump, but these projects that just keep springing up where, the whole site's vibe coded, I think those are the ones that probably aren't gonna survive, and the ones that are serious with a serious use case are the ones that are going to be around in the next 5 years.
Excellent. And I guess the same goes for the fact that they completed audits before production too, right? To make sure everything is working and how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, of course, of
Yeah.
course.
And then, so according to you, what role does security play in mass adoption? And do you think that it should really become invisible or more visible for general users?
Okay, I'm a little bit biased because I am the I am one of the staff in a cybersecurity company. I'm going to say it should be more visible for general users. Okay, it should be front and center on CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap. It should be one of the main things that investors and users are looking at before they decide to engage with a product.
All right, you're allowed to be biased. That's a good one. So
I think I'd be in trouble if I wasn't.
possibly. We'll keep it between us. Before we wrap up, let's just kind of end on a personal note here. What's the biggest lesson you've learned in your career?
The biggest lesson I've learned in my career, treat everybody as they would treat you. To be honest, if you're getting a very good energy from people, give them a good energy back. If they've been rude, don't give them your time and energy. It's all about the good vibes that you bring and that they bring. That's how cool stuff gets built.
I like that. Very good. What keeps you grounded outside of work?
I like going to the mountains and into nature and away from screens to relax. So I'm actually doing that after this
Oh,
this
well,
podcast.
excellent. Oh,
Yeah, I'll be away for 2 weeks. This is literally my last conversation about crypto
oh,
for the
well,
next two
thanks for
weeks.
having us here with you then. That's fantastic. Well, that's
Always a
amazing.
pleasure.
Yeah, 2 weeks. That's great. Unplug,
I
right?
can't wait.
uh, what's one habit every crypto user should adopt today?
Touch grass.
Oh, I like that.
Absolutely touch grass.
I
I'll just
often,
leave it there.
yeah, I often tell my kids that they should go barefoot every now and then in the grass and just touch the grass, touch the ground.
Oh yeah, or sea if you can touch the sea every day, do it.
Yes,
100%.
yes. My kids are fish, so they would love that advice. And I guess the question of the moment: if you're following FIFA World Cup, which country are you cheering for?
Isn't it obvious?
Well, maybe not.
3 lions, something about being on a shirt. England, all the way. And
Um,
I can't wait till we play Spain. It's a revenge sign for the Euro Copper.
Excellent. Well, again, I cannot thank you enough, especially knowing that you're about to go on a break here, go screen free for a little bit. Really cannot thank you enough for joining us today for a special attempt number two, very important roundtable where, we definitely highlighted something that often gets overlooked because security isn't just about protecting system, it's about protecting trust. And especially in the world of technology moving so fast, trust definitely becomes very important. Thank you again, Bryn, for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an absolute pleasure. I'd love to come back after a couple of months and do another one.
Yes, absolutely. We'd love to have you again. And again, to our community, stay curious, stay informed, and always keep asking us questions. If you missed any part of today's conversation, catch the replay and share it with someone who can benefit from it. Join us again for another MakaChain Roundtable and follow us across our social channels to stay up to date. No confusion, just connection. I'm Sarah, and we'll keep building the future the right way, secure by design and trusted by community. Thanks again, Bryn.
Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye. Thank you, Sarah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.